Hi, gorgeous soul. I am Chloe Rose, and welcome to your monthly full moon oracle reading for the collective. And today, we have 3-3 portal, the third of the third, so 3-3 portal blessings. We have a full moon blessings, and it is also the lunar eclipse. So 3-3 portal, full moon, and lunar eclipse blessings. Now there's something important about this number 3, triple threat, triple magic. And also, I read somewhere today that it is 333 years since the witch trials, since the peak of the witch trials, and it is 3-3 portal, full moon, and a lunar eclipse. Now this means something to me, and this could explain a lot about the energy that's happening right now. And, you know, with everything that is going on in the world, in times of eclipses, everything can feel so heightened and everything can feel really weird and strange and completely flipped and turned upside down on its head. So yeah. Just to acknowledge that it's not you, it's the collective. And we are riding some seriously crazy waves right now, remembering that we are really just entering into a year of change. Brand new year of change. Astrologically, we are entering into unknown, uncharted territory, which is exciting. But as we also know, excitement can feel exactly the same as anxiety. Unknown territory, but we're all in this together. And coming back to that number 3, 333 years since the peak of the witch trials, 3-3 portal, a full moon, lunar eclipse, 3. To me, this is a very magical number, a special number. And what's interesting is it has parallels of healing resonance in those numbers. I would say the most well-known or one of the most popular numbers of 33 or 333 is that divine love, that divine cosmic love. A lot of people would know that as Christ consciousness, the 33, that unconditional divine love. And isn't that beautiful? I would say that's beautiful because in such a pivotal time that we're in at the moment, where our world leaders are making drastic decisions that are not in alignment with unconditional love, that are not in alignment with harmony and unity. And yet all of the numbers and the numerology and the shifts are pointing towards divine love and unconditional love. And I see this as a sign of change and growth and transformation, but also this calling to find that change within ourselves and seek that divine love within ourselves. And also the number 3, I see this as a very divine feminine number. And those who are familiar with pagan traditions and witchcraft traditions, there is the triple goddess. The triple goddess is worshipped. There is also the 3 sisters who are known as the weavers of the universe as we know it. So it has a very divine feminine resonance as well. And if we think of the divine feminine, I would say divine feminine would reflect the exact opposite of what we are seeing happening in the external world at the moment. However, what I would say is that the only way for the light of love and positive change and shifts in the world, the only way for that to actually pour into the earth is for the darkness to be revealed. And I truly and honestly believe that is what is happening at the moment. The darkness is being revealed almost, it seems, in its full entirety. More and more darkness is being revealed to the public openly every single day. And yes, it's shocking, and it never gets less shocking. But for this darkness being revealed to us, it creates so much more space for us to shine the light of loving awareness. So I just wanted to share that with you. This is a magical day, and I feel that change is on the horizon, and you and I and we as individuals get to choose how that change transpires within and without. So let's see what Spirit wants to share with us today through the oracle cards. So as usual, I'm going to do a 9-card reading with the beautiful Blessings from the Heart of the Rose oracle deck by Sheila Murphy. All of the cards that I used today, I will mention the title of the deck and the author in the description of this video, so you can check for that. So I'll go ahead and do this reading for us today. And if you haven't already, please do like this video. Please do subscribe to my channel. And if you know anyone who would benefit from this message or any of the messages that come through from the cards, please do share this video with a friend or on your channel or any way that you choose. It would be amazing to spread the light of love and change and transformation really as much as we can in the world right now. And also, before I dive into the reading, I recorded a guided meditation video yesterday. You can check that out on my channel. It is a way that we can expand the energy of our own hearts and the energy of love from within us and send it out across the earth and even beyond that into the universe and the cosmos, really rippling out waves of love. In a prayer for humanity and a prayer for world peace, even for universal peace. So please do check that out. All right then. So I'm going to begin by asking for the assistance of my guides and my higher self. I've already set up a safe space around myself, which includes this reading today, and inviting my guides in to assist today for a 9-card reading with multiple different paths for this next 28-day lunar cycle, starting with the energy of today for the next 28 days. Today on this full moon eclipse 3-3 portal. And I am calling in for the energy for the collective. So this is not just for an individual, although this reading may really resonate with specific individuals who align with this video. A message for the collective. What is the energy for this month that is going to help support our growth, change, transformation, love, healing, and peace and harmony? Please only give cards and messages that are crystal clear and concise to communicate and understand, and also crystal clear messages and guidance that are in service of my highest good and the highest good and love of all. Thank you. So first of all, please can we have the central card for the reading today? So this is going to be the main energy of this 28-day lunar cycle between now and the next full moon. Thank you. Okay, interesting. I'm not going to tell you what it is. I'm actually going to pull all the cards in this reading and then I'm going to read them through for you. Oh my goodness, there's so much so much in this card. Okay, thank you. So please can I have the top row from left to right? So the first possible pathway for healing, transformation, activation, rebirth, or anything else that is in service of the highest and best good of the collective. Okay, thank you. Please can I have the next 2 cards? Thank you. Okay, ooh, that one's in reverse. Interesting. Please can I have the next card in this row? So this will be the top right card in the deck. Thank you. And another reversed. Okay, this is interesting. Please can I have the pathway now down from top left? Thank you. Lots of reversed cards. This is very much Eclipse energy. Interesting. So I will talk through this more as we go through the reading and through the individual cards, but reverse cards, I really feel that represents that eclipse energy. It flips perspectives upside down and inside out, which obviously can be a very positive experience, but it can be, I don't want to use negative because I don't actually see eclipses as negative unless that energy is being used for an evil deed, for example. But eclipse energy can actually flip things to a totally different perspective. They can feel quite feral and quite unhinged, but sometimes we need that unraveling and like unwinding of what we feel or think that we know is right and actually flip that on its perspective. So this is really interesting. And what's interesting coming up before I continue is that 2 of the cards that came up in last month's reading are now flipped in reverse. That is really interesting. And what this can also reveal is like a dark side to what we experienced last month. Okay, so this is cool. I'm excited about this reading. Okay, so can I have the next 2 cards from bottom left to bottom right, please, completing this pathway. 2 cards, please, with crystal clear messages. There we go. And that one. All right, beautiful. Nice. Okay, we've got a few recurring images and symbols coming up here. All right. Please can we have the final card to complete this deck? So this is the pathway from top right down to bottom right, completing the middle of this row. All paths helping us to understand the meaning and the significance of the central message in this deck. Thank you. Wow. Okay. Beautiful. And for those of you who are new here, the way that I read, or that I choose to read, is I pick oracle decks which have multiple layers of encoded messages. So I pick oracle decks which have really beautiful artwork and that have numbers written on them, and then also just have very simple words. And I like to work with the energy of the simple messages and the images alongside my guides to channel the messages that are coming through in the cards. This is quite an intuitive reading. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you like these beautiful cards as well. So at the very center of the reading, so the central energy of this lunar cycle, is the card called Time. And there are so many multi layers to this. So what I'm seeing is a female figure standing at the very center of the card, and her hair is lifting upwards, and above her head is like this temple, a crystalline temple. And around her, surrounding her on both sides of her, are two serpentine-like dragon beings. And then actually underneath her, so it's almost like she's standing on a lion's head. And then behind her is the night sky. It's completely black and sparkling. And also she's holding this emerald crystalline structure. Wow. She's holding this emerald crystalline structure, which is actually connected to the whole of the earth. So this is an incredibly powerful card. There's lots of crystal energy. There's starlight energy. I'm going to show you the card. Just make sure that the light isn't. Let you take in the magic of this card. And what is really interesting, and my guides are bringing this through for me now, is that, so I have one of my psychic abilities that's very much been online my whole life is premonition. So I often receive messages like a few weeks or even a month before that energy has landed. And I was meditating and I received this message about time. And what the message was that if we can let go of the constructs of linear time and a time frame and feeling like time is against us in terms of age or achieving goals, or keeping us very much in this prison, like time can really restrict our experience here on earth as humans. And I really feel that this is the message in this card, time. And there's my guides are laughing. They're like, it is time. It is time. They're saying like, now is the time. Now is the time to transform, to take charge, to bridge the gap and bring heaven on earth. And then also the layer behind this is that we, as vessels of light in human form, we are these amazing conduits of energy, and we can bring harmony between space, the stars, the cosmos, the earth, and all of these magical, mystical realms of beings, celestial realms. Like, now is the time for each of us, each and every one of us, to start recognizing this incredible power that we have. So that's what I see this. I see this as like, now is the time. Now is the time for each and every individual to be this anchor between heaven and earth, and recognize that we are all mystical and we are all capable of experiencing incredibly cosmic and multi-dimensional, multi-layers of existence in our lives. And I really love that the lion is in the earth, because it's what I see in this image is balance between cosmic, galactic, heavenly, and then balance between this strength and magic and wisdom in the earth. And we are bridging the gap between those two things. We are bringing balance and harmony to the earth through these cosmic connections. And now is time. And I really am feeling, and it's funny because almost like this, that construct, that beautiful sort of, it looks like a palace, like a celestial palace above the crown. But what I see this is, it's like we are releasing and letting go of that prison that time can create. And we're letting go of that and actually realizing that time is quantum and multidimensional. And if we really put the effort and the intention into it, we can travel through time and space right within our own portal of transport, which is in the center of our beings, in our hearts. Whew, okay, so that is a powerful, powerful central energy. And what better time than when our world leaders are failing us than to really recognize our magic and our power and take charge of that. And also just to remind you, you are on your own timeline. You are on your own individual timeline. Please stop comparing yourself to other people. Some of us go on a very slow journey. Some of us loop and spiral and go up and down and in and out. And some people are on this very, very fast, almost like speed of light journey from A to B. You are on your own time frame and timeline. Ooh, so many layers to that time card. Okay. So we're going to go to the starting point in this deck, which is Green Wind. And I love this card. And this is number 17. So that is an 8 card. And I see 8 as abundance, of a sign of fast moving change, of alignment into our highest timeline. And in this, we've got lots of unicorns. We've got fire, this fire, it's very much a fire horse energy. We've got 2 unicorns, which have that horse energy, and we've got fire, and the fire is elevating us upwards on this beautiful green wind, and there's green wings. Now, what I receive from this message is that, what is a green wind? To me, a green wind is a heart elevation, an opening of the heart, an expansion of the heart, breathing in that pranic energy that is going to help us fly on the wind of love into our highest selves and our highest timeline. So I see this as in alignment with the year of the fire horse. Taking those deep breaths, honoring our heart, imagining that that green wind is our breath itself, and allowing us to be elevated by that. So this is a heart activation, but allowing ourselves to fly on the winds of love. And also what's coming through is trusting and just allowing ourselves to fly on the winds of change. And of course, with the unicorns in there, we have, again, this mystical activation, which is very much in time as well. This is a very mystical, multi-dimensional portal that we are entering in through now. Okay. And then, so if we open our hearts and really breathe in and allow ourselves to fly on that wind of our open heart, the next one we come to, and this is a beautiful card, this is called Elfin Glass. Elfin Glass. There's elven energy in here, and this is beautiful. So this is very much a temple, and what is coming through for me from my guides is that this is entering in. So when we open our hearts and allow ourselves to be taken off with this fire horse energy and allow our hearts to burst open, perhaps more than we've been comfortable with previously. And what I mean by this is we might experience these elevated states of joy, elevated states of energy and vibration, and allowing ourselves to really ride on that. And this is going to take us into this really mystical temple. And I see this, and you'll often hear me speak about worshipping at the divine temple of wisdom within. And I see that as this. And as I said that, my heart just started burning with this energy, this vibrant energy. I'm going to show you the card. Let me just get it out of the light. There we go. And I see this as like the Holy Grail. It looks like that to me. It's like a chalice. It's this burning energy on a pedestal. The Holy Grail, the inner heart fire. We're going to activate the inner heart fire, that inner temple of wisdom. And what's interesting is I see this as the higher heart. So that is that 3-3, Christ consciousness, real divine, ecstatic, unconditional love. Because also in this image we have roses, we have flowers, we have the green energy, but also the rose of both of the hearts combined. Amazing. So this is a huge activation of that inner heart fire. And that is how we become courageous and fearless in our pursuit for love and unity and harmony in the earth. Amazing. And then what's interesting is, so we open our hearts and we allow ourselves to fly on these winds of change and this fiery newness, and this activates this higher heart awareness, and we open up to this divine inner temple. And then we come down to the card meeting, which is in reverse. Meeting in reverse. Okay, so what my guides are telling me, and this is beautiful actually. So, because when we really activate this fire in our hearts that is unconditional, that is kind, caring, compassionate, a completely different way of being that we have been programmed and conditioned to be, really loving all beings and all encounters with people that we meet. That is not what we're used to as humans, and it is not what we are seeing being embodied by the world leaders. But we are being called to that deep within. And when we do that, we are going to find that how we interact with others is going to start completely changing. And meeting in reverse, what my guides are saying to me is this is going to invite us to start thinking about how we can build community and gather together and support one another in ways that haven't been done before. So this is something new, and this is why it's in reverse, because we can, and I'm saying we just as a stereotype or a collective feeling, we can get stuck and overwhelmed to the point of where we don't take action by outdated systems and ways that we have been told we should do things. This completely flips everything on its head. And this is saying that we are going to completely break out of things that have been done before, and we're going to find new and beautiful ways to come together as humans. I love that. I absolutely love that. So starting on this pathway from that meeting, when we find brand new, beautiful ways, kind, loving, unconditional ways of connecting together as humans, and this really feels like higher timeline energy to me, which is beautiful. Like I can really feel it in my heart. When we start doing that, what's interesting is the next card is Dragon. And this card is number 11. So this could be, 1111, that nod and that guide from spirit, but also it's a number 2. Choosing the numerology that feels good to you. And this is really beautiful. And again, we have fire. We have the dragons here, and we have this beautiful temple. There's like multiple temples. So the message that I'm getting coming through here is that by consciously building community and connections throughout the world in brand new, unconditionally loving ways, we are going to activate and also simultaneously anchor ancient and magical, but also new, brand new, advanced magical wisdom into the earth. And that's where the dragons come in. I see dragons as grid keepers, energetic grid keepers. I also do believe that they were physical beings that manifested here and do on other timelines. Dragons often remind me of trees as well. They have this ancient, strong energy to them. Again, they are multi-dimensional. So through community and togetherness, we are going to unlock ancient and advanced wisdom and anchor it into the earth, which is really incredible. And then the next, after this, this is a beautiful card, which is Dandelion Heart. Dandelion Heart. And this is a number 9. And number 9 is representative of endings. And there's so many layers to this. And when we think of a dandelion, I don't know if this is just an English thing. Dandelions, you pick them up and you blow them to make a wish. So the message that I'm coming through from my guides is when we have this community. And by the way, this is a 28-day lunar cycle. This is the energy that's coming through. So this may not all anchor into our current day timeline within 28 days. I'm not suggesting that. But thoughts, inspirations, ideas, and activations are going to be coming through. So we want to start taking note of that, putting ideas down, listening out for that ancient and modern advanced wisdom. And what dandelion heart, the message that's coming through here with the dandelion heart is that once we've anchored this incredible wisdom, we want to use our heart to make wishes. So literally by making wishes from our heart, we're going to be casting out these spells into the universal grid to create change, to create brand new. And this card to me looks very much like a place that is beautiful and harmonious. Let me just try and get it out of the light so you can see it. It kind of looks like an eye in the middle as well. But it looks like a place of peace and harmony. So we will have this wisdom within us to start placing our wishes into the world and creating a place of harmony. Beautiful. Yeah, and it's this ending, so it's like, it's almost this energy of we have to choose now what is ending and what we want to plant those seeds of wishes into the universe to what we want to create. Okay, beautiful. And so let's take these alternative pathways. And those of you who are new to my readings, there's multiple pathways. So you may find that only one of these 3 cards in a pathway really resonates for you in this 28-day cycle. You may find that the whole reading is deeply resonant at different points of the month or the lunar cycle. Or you may just find that the central card is your total tunnel vision focus point. These are all remembering, and I will say this over and over again, we are living in a multi-dimensional reality. There are multiple pathways and you have the choice. So I'm giving you multiple pathways and options and just energies to ponder over. So coming back to the starting point, that green wind, riding the winds of change, but also riding the winds of having this expanded heart opening and the energy that brings. And what's interesting here, these were 2 cards that showed up in last month's cycle, but they were not reversed. They were They were the right way up, the normal way up. They weren't reversed. And that is Magdalene. So that is the divine feminine. And then the next we have Ancient Moon. So interesting to me. So we have Magdalene in reverse, and that is a 2-2 number. So that could also be a 4, which is, what's interesting actually is 4 tends to be more of like an emperor and a masculine and action taking. So that's quite interesting with the Magdalena card in reverse, because last month she was flipped the other way around. So that was really this slowing down, taking a step back, opening ourselves up to receive divine creativity, devotion to ourselves. So now that's flipped. It's really interesting. And a lot of words that are coming through is like dark feminine, the dark feminine, and the power of the dark feminine. And there are so many powerful forces of the feminine, because sometimes when we consider divine feminine as being creative and soft and receiving and devotional, that could be perceived as perhaps not very strong. But the dark feminine is a force to be reckoned with. She is fierce. She fights for what she believes in, no matter the cost. She protects those that she loves. She is courageous. So this is very much the dark feminine. Okay, so the message that's coming through is igniting the dark feminine as a weapon against the forces of the dark. Wow, that's really cool. And my guides are actually saying to me, whoever is watching and receiving this message, to go away and do your own research on the dark feminine, because it is a whole beautiful pathway that you can go down. So embodying the superpowers of the dark feminine as a weapon against the forces of dark. Wow. I actually feel really empowered saying that. So I love that. And then next, so with this, and I'm being told these two are like a pair. These two are in a pair. We have Ancient Moon in reverse, which to me, I'm just laughing because today is a full moon lunar eclipse. So everything is getting flipped upside down. We are being called to flip from that beautiful, soft, divine feminine receivership to that strong, dark force of nature to help us navigate through this huge flip. Ancient Moon in reverse. And this is a number 1. Remember, we are in a year 1 energy, new beginnings, uncharted territory, where our whole life is being flipped upside down. But this, to me, is saying we can use this to our advantage. We can use this to our advantage. Ancient Moon. There's a dragon on this card. Again, dragon energy. It's just, this message keeps coming through that we are weaving ancient energy with advanced and brand new technology and calling that into ourselves. And this is what this portal today is opening us up to and activating. So yeah, now is the time. Now is the time for us to embrace this change and know that it is in alignment. It's in alignment energetically, cosmically, humanly, universally. Okay, so after this Ancient Moon in reverse, where everything is flipped and turned upside down, and we actually are embracing the dark side, this strength, and almost like this strong, I just see warriors, ancient warriors. Then we come down and the next one is the Emerald Crown, and we have another lion. Lions, when we think of lions, we think of fierceness. And a rose at the center of the reading. Emerald Crown. I just mentioned that Magdalene in reverse is very much that emperor, king, divine, taking action energy. So with this, everything being flipped in reverse and us finding ourselves at this point in time where we are anchoring in brand new magic and wisdom, we're going to be crowned with this emerald crown, where each of us recognize our sovereignty. Each of us recognize our sovereignty. And the beautiful rose, we've got that rose energy, which is very much Magdalene energy. It is this deep, deep energy of self-love. But what I love about roses is that they are incredibly beautiful, not only to behold, to touch, to smell, to ingest, but they have very sharp thorns. So the rose knows how to protect herself. The rose is dark, divine feminine to me, and I love that that is at the center. So what this card is really representing to me is that each and every one of us, in order to really shine our light and our authentic strength and beauty from within, each to our own, we have to protect ourselves and we have to build up strength in order to be in our sovereignty and in our power as individuals. And we can only be that, a collective force, if we find that individually. And then that leads us back to that dandelion heart. And that's beautiful because it makes perfect sense. When we are sovereign, when we are wearing our crown, when we are feeling our inner strength and we are feeling authentically ourselves and we're feeling comfortable with ourselves, we can then pluck that beautiful wishing dandelion and blow our true wishes and our desires from our heart out into the universe. And that takes us back to time. Now is the time for us to anchor heaven on earth, bridge the gap between the cosmos and the earth, and also just completely flip our perspective about time itself and become magical, multi-dimensional beings. I am loving this reading. I'm feeling really activated, a little bit apprehensive because I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't know what is going to come in this next 28 days, but I'm super excited by this. And I'm going to very, very quickly just pull 3 extra cards. And what's really interesting, so before I do these readings, I tap in with my guides and I say, okay, so I do this reading usually with the same deck, and then I say, can you guide me towards 3 decks that are going to be just extra messages and guidance at the end? And they told me moon, dragon, and water. And I feel like all of those, we've got the water, the divine feminine, the dragons, which have come up in multiple cards, and then of course the moon, we've got the ancient moon, we've got the full moon. So exciting. So calling upon the beautiful Moonology Oracle by Yasmin Boland. Please can we have 1 card to represent the lunar energy from now on the 3rd of March for the next 28 days. A message with crystal clear guidance for the collective, please, to support this reading. Guidance for clearing, healing. Okay, thank you. Let's have a look. Ah, beautiful. Bring love into the situation. Bring love into the situation. Green wind, blow love into the situation. Bring love into the situation. We are being called to love at a time of darkness. Beautiful. Okay, and then calling upon the Dragon Oracle cards, one of my favourite decks by Diana Cooper. Calling upon the dragons, the divine energy, beautiful beings, the grid keepers, the fierce forces of nature and ancient divine wisdom that you are. Please can we have 1 card, a crystal clear message or guidance for the collective to add to this reading today, from today, the 3rd of March, for the next 28 days. One dragon, please, to support the highest and best good of the collective. Yeah, that makes so much sense. All right, I think there's a message for us all here. The golden Christed dragon brings you higher love, higher love, higher love, higher love, higher love, higher love. To embody the Christ light. Absorb the Christ light. You are protected. Expand your heart and remain 5th dimensional. Wow, yeah. We are being called to come into that place of compassionate love and forgiveness, empathy, kindness. Beautiful. And I've actually never ever pulled this dragon card before in a reading. So that's very special. Okay, thank you. And finally, the Ethereal Waters Oracle card. These don't have an author. They are a mystery deck that I picked up in this awesome little shop down in Worthing on the south coast. Calling upon the Ethereal Waters Oracle deck. Please can we have one card to support this reading from the divine codes of water from today on the 3rd of March and for the next 28 days. Energy to support, clarify, perhaps heal. One card, please, for the collective, for the highest and best good of the collective. If there is one card, asking for it to come through now. Thank you. Still, aware and reflecting. The watching field, and it looks very similar to the dandelion heart. It's got that eye. Still, aware and reflecting, still aware and reflecting, still aware and reflecting. I feel like this is a guidance for the first step in the pathway. Stillness, awareness, and reflecting is going to keep us in this beautiful inward spiral in our hearts. Still, aware, and reflecting. I just want to take a moment to thank my guides, my higher self, Source, Gaia, my guardian angels, the beautiful creators, the authors and the artists of these amazing oracle decks. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the divine wisdom that you bring. And thank you so much. Please let me know in the comments. This was a very in-depth reading, much longer than my usual collective reading. So please let me know how this landed with you, how you're feeling. If you're interested, I offer one-to-one oracle readings, which I also connect in with your guides. So it is a quantum energy oracle card reading. I'll drop the link to that in the comments if you would like to book that in and go much, much deeper into your own path. This can be a 28-day reading, a 6-month reading, a 1-year reading. There's so many options. So if that's something you'd be interested in, check the comments and the link will be there. And thank you so much for being here with me. You are powerful and you are the light. I believe in you and sending you so much love.